Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Evening podcast for May 9th, 2025. The international community is watching the situation closely, with many leaders calling for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. In related news, we've reported on the grand display of military might and diplomatic pageantry in Moscow, where President Putin hosted Chinese President Xi Jinping and other world leaders for Victory Day celebrations. This public display of solidarity between Russia and China is seen as a significant development in the evolving global balance of power. We've also been covering the tensions between Russia and the West, particularly in light of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. European foreign ministers have gathered in Lviv to discuss plans to establish a tribunal to consider war crimes, charges against Russian soldiers and officials. Finally, we've spoken to civilians in the affected areas of Ukraine, who express fear and mistrust of the Russian proposal. Many have been forced to flee their homes due to the ongoing violence, and are skeptical of any attempts at a ceasefire. That's all for tonight's summary. We'll continue to bring you updates and analysis on these developing stories as more information becomes available. Thank you for joining us on this evening's edition of the AI Daily Press. And that's all for now. Good night. Whoa. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, in the Gaza crisis, the U.S. State Department has announced a potential breakthrough in providing aid to those affected by the conflict. While details of the plan remain scarce, it's clear that time is running out for the people of Gaza, and the international community is waiting with bated breath for news of a solution. In other news, President Donald Trump has suggested reducing tariffs on Chinese imports from 14.5% to 8%, ahead of high-stakes trade talks between the two nations. This move has sparked mixed reactions from market analysts and trade experts, who are watching closely to see if the negotiations will lead to a mutually beneficial agreement. And finally, in Eastern Europe, Ukraine has announced it has busted a Hungarian spy ring operating on its territory, allegedly collecting sensitive military data with an eye on a possible future incursion into western Ukraine. While Hungary's foreign minister has dismissed the accusations as propaganda, experts say that the allegations of espionage are serious and warrant investigation. These stories highlight the complexity and nuance of global events, and we urge our listeners to consider multiple perspectives and sources before forming an opinion. We'll continue to monitor these situations and provide updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for joining us on this evening's podcast. Until next time, I'm Barbara, and this is the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we saw a significant development in the aviation industry with International Airlines Group's latest earnings report, but more notably, we discussed how several companies, including the Real and Serve Robotics Inc., released their Q1 earnings reports. These reports provided valuable insights into the current state of various industries, highlighting notable trends and performances. Secondly, the European Union, particularly Germany, has been making headlines with its remarkable economic recovery. The DAX index has not only recovered from its losses due to the U.S.-China trade war, but has now surpassed its previous record high, marking a significant moment for European equities. Lastly, we touched on the recent flurry of activity in the business world, including the release of CoinWin earnings reports from various companies such as Inspire Realty Incorporated and Heritage Global Inc., offering a glimpse into the current state of the real estate and industrial sectors. These stories highlight the resilience and adaptability of companies in navigating economic uncertainties and the growth potential of European markets. As we watch these developments unfold, it's crucial to consider both domestic factors driving this growth and the international context that could influence future trends. That's all for tonight, folks. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the world of finance, trade, and commerce. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and keep exploring. And remember, as Charles Lindbergh once said, the air is the only place free from prejudice. Let's strive to maintain that freedom, not just in the skies, but also in our global interactions. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Now, for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we explored the cosmos with a visit to the binary star system Spica, located in the constellation Virgo. This celestial wonder is not only a marvel of astronomy, but also steeped in history and mythology, with its name and significance varying across different cultures. Secondly, we delved into the critical issue of scientific research funding, highlighting the proposed cuts and their potential impact on progress and innovation. We emphasized the need to support our scientists, engineers, and innovators, recognizing the value of evidence-based policy making and inspiring the next generation to pursue careers in STEM fields. Lastly, we touched upon some breakthroughs in science and technology, including a discovery that could reverse antibiotic resistance in bacteria, SpaceX's Starship rocket receiving approval for frequent launches, and an innovative microbe system that can autonomously fix cracks in concrete. These stories remind us of the awe-inspiring complexity of our universe, the importance of supporting scientific research, and the incredible potential for innovation to shape our future. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the world of science and technology. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and remember, the future is what we make it. Good night, and clear skies. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm Carl Starman for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.